Hey, good morning. Good
Good morning.
morning. So, okay. Well, here we are. It's Wednesday morning. Today's an exciting Wednesday because we're starting with the buyer's agency specialists session here in about half hour.
Yes.
I am signed up. I can't wait.
Me too. I'm excited. Practical advice to navigating the landscape.
Yes.
It's like you need a map, GPS, topography, hiking boots. Everything's always changing. We need to be prepared. And this is an awesome way that we're all going to be prepared to be successful and stay
Right?
successful through the changes.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I
that's exciting.
agree. That is very exciting. So I got my monitor here. It's showing us with the right outfit on. So I think we're doing this.
Perfect. I wore my Hannah shirt for you today, Chuck.
Great. I love it. I have that same shirt. Although I probably cut a little differently. Right? I have the green one.
Embarrassing. I'm glad we didn't wear the same shirts.
Oh, that'd be funny. That would
Okay. But anyway, because we're limited on time today, so we need to jump right into it. And I think it is a great way for us to talking about numbers and how you can use them to grow your business, grow your reach, grow your expertise. We challenged each other last week that we were each going to do a reel and post it so that we'd have some statistics to talk about.
Okay.
And I'm here to report accountability works. I did not want to do it. I was nervous to do it. I was scared to do it, but I had to do it because I made a commitment to Chuck that I would. And so therefore I did. So if you are struggling to get something done, find that accountability partner because it made all the difference in the world. It took me, it's been a week since we talked about this. And I thought about it for a few days. I tried it one day and then I said, I don't like that. And then I did it again because I had a deadline. So anyway, do we want to talk about the results that we both had with it first, or do we want to talk about how we did it first?
Yeah. Let's talk about how we did it.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Let's do the how first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Chuck taught me how to use a green screen in Instagram Reels.
Oh yeah.
And then instead of just having the background of the green screen, how to replace that background with an image of my choosing. So I went to, in my region, we have a different InfoSparks, our way to get stats on our dashboard. So I found a stat that I liked, and then I did a screenshot of it. So those are the types of things you learn as you go, right? So your green screen Instagram is going to be a portrait format. So when I was looking at the picture, I needed to do a screen grab in a format that would be a good background, that my head wouldn't be in front of the proper data. So you do need to plan ahead to think about some of that because again, once you put it up there and you're like, oh, I need to move myself here, there in the screen. I need to shrink myself so I can see the numbers. All that kind of stuff matters. So Chuck, I know you've pulled up some numbers and you have some great, your background first?
Yeah, sure. I'll share. So this is what the phones are amazing, right? I mean, the power, the versatility, what we can do just with the phones in our pockets, is it's just bananas. And I'm a big fan of the infographic for sharing information, but the problem with the infographic is it's not responsive, meaning websites that are and web pages that are responsive, meaning they respond to the layout of whatever the device is that they're being displayed on. So that was it. Responsive was a big change in websites, maybe about 10 years ago. And unfortunately that piece is not really responsive. So it's laid out for a portrait format, not for a portrait. It's laid out for landscape, right? Not portrait. And when I'm doing stuff on my phone, it's got to be portrait. So I went to the one tab over, which I'm sharing here, which is market review, and it shows really all the same data, but it shows it in a better layout for a background on your phone, right? It's more, it's narrower, and then it's taller, so it makes a perfect background. So I just quick did a screen grab of this, and saved it in my photos, and then, like you said, open up Instagram, just create a reel, click on the camera, select down to the filter, which is green screen, and then change background from they have some cool defaults, and then I just change it over to my photo backgrounds, select the photo I want, and then I scooched myself, because it kind of puts you initially a little bit, I think, too big, right? Like you're taking up a lot of the thing, but it's scooched me. I actually use my fingers just to pinch me in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when I'm setting it all up, I'm kind of close to my phone. So then I move back about, maybe 3 or 4 feet, and it shows more of my whole body. I usually show like the top of my legs up instead of just my big mug in front, on the screen there. And I like the layout. To me, it works. I like the way it looked. And then I just talk about the numbers, and a quick rundown. There's the 3 numbers you got to know if you want to keep up with the real estate market. Of course, you want to know what the average sale price is. You want to know the days on market. And then I think you want to know how the inventory is trending. Are you getting more inventory? Are you getting less inventory? And there's 2 inventory data that kind of go together. One is how much inventory, like how many new listings came on the market, compared to last month and compared to last year. And then how many properties, listings were there to look at every day to day throughout the month? What was the average? So I call it 3 pieces of data, but my last piece is kind of a twofer. And you just talk about those numbers, and then make a conclusion, based on this, I think we're going to do blah, blah, blah. Right. I don't know about you, Lisa, but I'm in the prediction business. That's really, frankly, a lot of what I get paid to do, is to predict the future. And I'm right. I think I'm better than a weather person. Nothing against those scientists. They are wicked smart and all that. But, they say the weather, if you're right half the time, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I think we as professional realtors and all the tools and just how much we're into it, I think we're right way more than half the time. So I'm ready to predict. Let's get predicting.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think what I'm hearing you say too, Chuck, is, you chose the numbers that you wanted to talk about. And that's the beauty of doing a piece like this, where it's one-way communication, right? We both said it's easier for you and I to talk to each other and to have something to respond to. But when you're doing that quick video, you're just talking, and you're hoping people are receiving it. But that being said, that means you can choose which statistics you want to talk about.
Yes.
And then you can choose where you want them from. So, and you and I didn't talk about exactly what we were going to do, but we ended up doing 2 things that really were along the scale. You did a county report, what's happening in this county, and I did down to my town, including 2 villages. And so it shows that we all can do what we want, right? Like we all can focus. And the nice thing about that too is, like, we're not saying that every day you should do a video talking about some numbers. We're saying sprinkle that in periodically, especially at the beginning of the month. We both did this the first week of June to talk about the May results. That's good, timely information. Hey, here's what just happened in May. And we both did them, I think, like on June 2nd. So you're not waiting to say what happened months ago. You're giving them
you know what? And I did the one for Genesee County, right? I started with Genesee. We did it Monday. If I can later today, I want to do one for Wyoming County. and if I go county by county by county over the first month, I could cover the Glow region, right? Genesee, Livingston, Orleans, and Wyoming counties. And then I could also do a Monroe County report. I could wrap it up with Monroe. If I wanted to do an Erie County report, I can do Erie. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
You can go wherever you want, but I think you should, my advice would be to do individual videos per, whether it's county, whether it's town, however you want to focus. Because you're trying to appeal. I mean, the goal is to set yourself up as that local expert, and the local, so I need to be local to Erie County, or local to Niagara, or local to Genesee, or local to Monroe. And you have to do it individually. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
definitely.
Because you only got 90 seconds. If you do the longest reel, you've legit got 90 seconds. So what did we talk about? It was so fun because we talked about, and I said it, and you go, "Oh, we should talk about that." And I you don't have time to explain.
No. All right, let's talk about that.
Let's explain.
Yeah,
you don't have time to explain.
As you called it, the explanation trap. What did you call it?
I mean, earlier I said I'm in the prediction business, right? Well, maybe I'm in the explanation business. I feel like I do that all day long. Explain. I go to an appointment. What do I have to do for the clients? We have to explain, right? Yes. I mean, reasonable care. It sounds like a, not a nothing duty to our clients, reasonable care, but it literally means a lot, and it means we do a lot of explanation. So we get used to that mode of explain. We stop explaining. Just send the message, get to it. Here we are. Would you believe that the blah 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 went up last month by da da da? Or here I am with the market numbers for Genesee County 2024. Sales were this. New listings were that. Time on market was blah, blah, blah. You take all those three together, this is what you got, right? Right. We do it all the time. I saw someone else in our company send a video out to everybody, and he said, I'm blah, 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 and I'm doing, and I'm like, stop it. We all know who you are. You don't need to explain.
I mean, it's true, but we feel like we need that big intro, that big lead up to what we're going to say.
Because we're nervous, right? Because we're nervous. We're like, no one's going to listen to me. No, blah, blah,
But we also need to realize, I think there's a good chance, we've made our videos public, right? Anybody could be watching them. And I might think, oh, if they don't know who I am, I should say my name, right? Well, if they're watching it, they probably can also see my name listed below, right?
Right.
And so we don't have to worry that they know who we are.
Don't fall into the explanation trap. No, stop explaining. No. You don't have time to explain the other thing too, right? You just don't have time. Just get to it. A 90-second reel is one thing, but what if I could deliver that message in 60 seconds or less?
Right.
That should really be my goal. Tighten it up a little bit. They don't need the fluff.
All right. So here's the disappointing part. I got mine down to 29 seconds. The average view was 12 seconds. So even though I worked really hard to make it short, they didn't even give me the full 29 seconds, just 12 seconds. So you have to make those first few seconds count. It can't be stammering. It can't be, hi, good morning. It's a beautiful day in Hamburg, New York, because they're gone.
Right. What's the hook, right?
Right.
I mean, the hook. Hey, these are the numbers you need to know. Here they are. Right. Yeah. Get into it.
Yes.
And they might not be listening. They might, does it automatically caption it? So somebody might be watching and they could see it,
Yeah.
And you know what, as you do it more and more, you'll build an audience. And guess what? I bet, 6 months from now, you're getting more than 12 seconds because they're tuning in for you. They're your audience and they've learned, oh, I trust Lisa. She's giving me this information I need, and they'll hang on for the 30 seconds. Right.
Right.
So,
okay. So let's talk a little bit.
What was your results? You did a video first time. I watched your video. You're a natural. I mean, you should have been doing.
I'll bet. I'm going to say you probably watched for 14 seconds, Chuck. I think you gave me an extra 2 seconds. Kidding. Okay. So the results. So
9 seconds. I was off after 9 seconds.
And so looking at the statistics and trying to understand what they mean by everything, it shows up in a lot of places, right? But people just scroll by it. They don't really look and watch it. So Instagram tells me like 1,100 places saw it. But on Instagram, it had 278 account views.
Okay.
I had 26 likes, 5 comments, 2 shares. One of them was me to Facebook. I don't know who the other one was. And of the Instagram, 61.5% were people who were already following me, and 38.5%
Okay.
were non-followers. And
Cool.
what I like about it too is you're getting this data in real time. So, we do these things, and again, our purpose was to watch the data and to see what happened.
Sure.
So immediately you have all these views, and it was like 85% followers, because that's who's seeing it first, is all the people that the people who are out there. And
Yep.
then now I'm distracted by Chuck there. I'm just kidding.
No,
But
you're good.
then you start to see it being watched by other people. Then I shared it on Facebook, and on Facebook I had 829 plays.
Whoa.
So, 4 times as many on Facebook as Instagram, but I have more connections on Facebook than Instagram.
Okay. Right. That makes
But
sense.
that's just my style of using both of those platforms. So it's worth it, right? Like you used that example, Chuck. What would you pay to get, 829 people in a room listening to me talk for 12
Yes.
seconds, right? Like that's not feasible.
It's not. I mean, and how much did you pay for that to get those 829
0.
people in a room? How much did that cost you?
0. It just
0.
cost my anxiety.
No, right? Like what I was going to share, I'll add it to the stage. I brought a web page up with Instagram. This was the reel that I created, and it shows some, some insights over here. And so let me go over to that and see if I can scroll down a tad. And let's see. You know what? Well, here you go. You can see up here, I got and my total plays. And then I did this video on Monday. I have 192 plays, 154 initials, and 38 times it was watched again. Oh, my average watch time, you're killing me. I have only 10 seconds. You're killing me.
20% higher.
Yeah, my total watch time was 28 minutes and 53 seconds. So yeah, I got to get my watch time up. So I need to do something. Here you go. 27% followers and 72.3% of non-followers. I ran the math, and that was over 100 people who are not following me, were different accounts that I interacted with.
Right.
Which I'll do that every day of the week if I can. Right.
Yes.
And a little call to action. Now, maybe I need to put I hate putting the call to action in the beginning because I don't want it to be about me. Right. I'm doing this as something for my audience.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll keep doing it. Absolutely. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. You'll get down to a little form. You'll know what you're going to say. You won't have those little nervous moments where you're like, what am I going to say? Am I saying the right thing?
Yeah.
It's fun. And I think you'll start to see success, and I think it'll be great. So
no, I think it's worth it. And again, the beauty of it is, you're in total control, right? You're controlling what you're talking about. You're controlling the numbers that you're pulling.
Yeah.
You're controlling what you're sending out there. And that's what I like about it. No one's quizzing you. Like if I said to you, like, Chuck, tell me the expiration rate in Genesee County. And you're be like, I didn't pull that number, right?
Yeah. It's not interactive, right? But you know what though? But Lisa, okay, so being a little vulnerable here, I mean, I'll admit that I probably spent a long time, like for a 90-second video, full disclosure. And because I don't have my script down. I don't have it down. So I went back and said, oh, no, redo. I mean, I don't even know how many times. It was so many times. And was it frustrating? Yes. So did you have the same experience?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. We did. And, and it was funny because after you made your video, we hadn't even talked. You just said, I did this. And I messaged you and I said, and I already knew how it felt. And I said, this is how you felt doing it. Right. And you're like, yes. And because everybody feels the same way doing it, and we talked about like how many times did we do this show before now? Well, we've done it week after week after week, but like today, how many times have we hit the replay, go live again, go live again, go live again? None. We never do that. But we're comfortable talking because, and I said it's really, it's easier being in conversation with somebody than it is just being your lone head on a thing, trying to send a message out to whoever. Right.
Yeah.
So it takes practice. So keep doing it, keep practicing. And, I think you'll get some results.
Yeah. And I'm going to add one of the things that I did. So,
Sure.
you're doing it on your phone, right? So,
Yeah.
having your phone like on a tripod, like making sure the
Yeah,
height
right.
is right and you look good at this, like you did it standing up, like you kind of look like a weatherman. Like that was very like professional. I was sitting down for mine. So that way you couldn't see me shaking because I was nervous. But also I had my notes, right? So I had my graphic that I had grabbed. And then I also had the story, a little bit more of the story behind the numbers, right? So my graphic had here's the numbers for the month, but then I wrote down, was it flat? Was it, an increase, a decrease, some different information about it? What was the average list to sale price? So I had the notes on a piece of paper, and then I had it like resting next to it, right?
Yeah.
Next to there's the notes next to the phone, so that I didn't have to look down. Like sometimes you and I, we're doing this, we're looking down because we prepare, we make notes, we want to know what we're talking about. But for 30 seconds, I don't want to look down, right? Because as soon as I look down, they swipe off or whatever. So have your notes at eye level. If joking around, like if you can get someone to do cue cards for you, even better. But I don't know that either one of us are doing that.
But that would be fun because then you can talk to that person holding the cue card, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You gotta imagine your audience. You're looking at your phone, you're seeing yourself, but you gotta forget about yourself and you gotta think that's my audience is there and I'm talking to them. And you gotta,
Yes.
imagine that, and they are listening. And when you check out your insights, you'll see your audience, right?
Right.
There was 150 something, or for your case, 1,000, or what, who were watching, who were listening. They are there. You can't see them, but they're there.
The best comment I got from one of the, you get the little likes, you get whatever.
Yeah.
But someone actually wrote, "Thank you." I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
you're welcome." Right?
What
like,
a nice thing to say.
And
That's my God. Wow.
so, we are providing information, right? Yes. And we want them to realize that we're a resource, that we can help them. And if they have a real estate question, because again, we don't want to be their realtor only when they're buying or selling. We want to be their realtor before they make a bad decision on a home improvement, before they do something crazy to their house that they think will add value, but it might not. Because again, back to your prediction business, Chuck, I decided I wanted to build a turret in my backyard. It's going to have a 40-foot thing. I really think it's going to increase the value. And you're going to say, well, I predict
my prediction,
it'll be an eyesore.
My prediction is you're going to get a lot of letters from your local zoning board or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So again,
be a problem.
And now I'm motivated to do another one, right? And I'm going to get new information, a new town. Maybe I'm going to talk about new construction. Maybe I'm going to talk about who knows what. But it's a good thing to sprinkle in. It's a good thing to try. Get the word out there. The more you do it, and I tell you, if anybody wants to help them, right?
You got to learn how to use the sound effects.
That might be a bad thing. No one would hear you talk, Chuck.
We were going to talk about data. Like when I look at the numbers, of course, our region, we lag behind numbers nationally. Like I loved on your video when you said, we don't do a national weather report. It's local. Real estate's local. We do a local report. That's what I'm giving you, the local numbers. Right. And,
You're right.
Absolutely. And what the Northeast as meaning a big region, we generally, from what's going on, we're other parts of the country, we're seeing more listings, more opportunity for buyers coming on the market. we will see that here in the Northeast, but we're just not really seeing it yet. We lag behind, whether it's 12 months behind, could be 24 months. You know, we lag behind, and also we don't have the high highs and we don't have the low lows. We're more
Right.
steady eddies. So even when we do catch up, we really won't catch up a whole lot because we really never fell off that much. You know, we're
Yes.
cool. We're cool as the other side of the pillow, Western New York. Feel a little bit of Stuart Scott there. My rest in peace, Mr. Scott. Little call back to the ESPN days. So absolutely. So speaking of cool as the other side of the pillow, Joe Rand's going to be on in 5 minutes, starting that buyer, the buyer certification.
Certified buyer specialist.
That dude, man, I can't wait to watch. I got to get on that.
Yes.
So Lisa, this was fun. I'm so excited we started doing this, and I can't wait to see your next video. And now I know I just have to say thank you, and you say thank you back to me. We'll feed off each other. Okay, how about that?
And share your videos in our group, right? Like you
share
can
your
also
Instagram handle.
Send, if you want, if you're nervous, send it to me or Chuck. We'll look it over. We'll give you some comments. We'll talk to you. We'll meet you and help you record it, right? Like, let us know what you need help with, but share it there, right? Like, and get some feedback from your peers. And actually, the more places you share it, the more it gets viewed. And we're all about that. We want to help and encourage everyone.
That's a great closing thought. We're out. Cheers, everybody.